Hey guys, back and we are playing Halo Infinite. Today we're going to be doing a League Loot stream. We're going to be checking out a reward that you can earn or could have earned via viewership reward for the HCS 2024 major. Well, it's the Atlanta major. It's the third major, but technically in Halo they dub it by the city. So it was the Atlanta major, and yeah, there was plenty of viewership rewards and stuff like that to be earned during the HCS weekend for the major, and two of the rewards were big items. It is a weapon coating, universal weapon coating, and an armor coating. Now I've equipped it both on my Spartan here, so like you can see both the rewards at the time being. But what I'm thinking is I might be doing two separate streams, one for the weapon coating and another one for the armor coating. So we'll split up the stream into two separate streams showcasing the weapon and then the armor, just for sake of having something to showcase in the game, I guess. I don't know. Plus, in all honesty, in this major, the rewards, I feel like at least the weapon and the armor coating both are worthy of showcase because I think both of them were pretty nice. So unlike the previous major, which I was a little disappointed with the reward, this one did not disappoint. And on two fronts, both a weapon and an armor coating, which is a little unusual for just a major to give two big items like that. And like I said, both were actually pretty nice rewards. So let's go ahead and check out the items and go from there. So, like I said, weapon coating, it is a universal weapon coating, artisanal arms, as a viewership reward for the Atlanta major HCS 2024. It's the third major of this year, and this one was one of the viewership rewards. This time they actually did the viewership rewards a little differently. Let's actually go through. What we'll do is we'll do a preview for each weapon type, and I'll chit chat about like what they've done a little differently with the major while going through them. So yeah, M40 assault rifle. So what it looks like. I've just equipped the coating on the weapon models that I use. So I haven't switched it to the base weapon models or anything like that. But I figured, you know, you'll get a good idea based on that. I actually really like this coating. I've for a long time wanted like a wood finish styled coating, universal coating, and kind of like suggested it in some of my old like Call of Duty streams, like please give a universal coating that has a wood finish or something like that, right? So definitely glad to see it in Halo that they've gone ahead and done it. And yeah, visually I really like it. I do think it works better on some of the weapons than others, you know, just depending on the coverage and all that. But yeah, I think it's really cool. Wood finish, and then even the metal with the swirly lines and stuff like that, I really like. So yeah, I think this was an exceptional like coating, and then even better so, it was a viewership reward. So like earnable by completely free. Now they did do the what's it called? Viewership a little differently this major. Before, what they would do is they would sort of piecemeal like the same kind of collection of coating, but based on like the weapon or the armor, right? And you slowly earn each piece through the viewership based on the time, right? This time around, they just had like a bulk timing, and when you met the requirement for the reward, you unlock the entire collection for it. So it wasn't piecemealed per weapon or anything like that. For the weapon coating, it was 6 hours of viewership, cumulative across the entire major. So you could have earned it on the first day or spread it out through like multiple days of viewership. It's up to you. And then the armor coating was 9 hours. And again, this was cumulative. So 6, you got the first reward, and then 3 more hours, you'd gotten the final reward, right? Like they were simultaneously like tracking, right? Is what I meant. Yeah, I really like this weapon coating. And like I said, pretty surprised that like it was just a free viewership reward. Now, obviously the major is over. So if you haven't unlocked this coating or you missed out, Halo does do second chances regularly enough. So I wouldn't be surprised if you know, there's a community event or something, like one of the partner streamers are doing something, and you can potentially get a second chance to unlock it. Just have to keep your eyes open and see, like, hopefully when they do the second chance, you can be present to meet the requirements to unlock it. But yeah, this is absolutely brilliant, and very glad to earn it. Like I said, I was actually really surprised at the quality of the rewards for this major, because that last one was particularly disheartening of design. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. And like I said, it is multi-core and all that. Yeah, and it was nice, like, you know, like I said, this time around, you know, it was just a total time, and once you met that 6-hour requirement, the core, like the coding was available for all your weapons, which also makes me think, like, maybe if they do a second chance, like I said, the previous HCSs and stuff, like they kind of piecemealed it per weapon or per like armor. I'm guessing now that they've kind of combined it, maybe if they do a second chance for this, which I'm sure they will, maybe it'll just be the entire collection again. Like they won't piecemeal it or something like that, right? I don't know though. I don't know how they plan on moving forward with the second chances and stuff like that. But yeah, in the past, you know, you'd get it for like the MA40 assault rifle one week, you know, as a second chance, and then they do the Commando another day. Yeah, it's a really nice coating. And there's still one more major before the championships. So potentially another major and then championship drops also on top of that. Might only get better, hopefully. Yeah, they did a good job with this coding, and like I said, properly surprised that it was just a viewership reward and not something that we'd have to pay for. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump in and play some games. Like I said, we'll do a separate stream for the armor coding, but the coding is what is on my Spartan. That is the viewership reward coding. That was the final reward. So like, I think, I can't remember what the earlier rewards were. I guess I can look it up. Oh yeah, there's a charm, HCS charm as the first reward. And there was co-streamer rewards also, like there was a vehicle coating for the co-streamers and stuff like that. But the big items like this weapon coating and the armor coating, they were tied to the main channel's viewership. So yeah, Twitch, you know, Halo channel was the main, which was broadcasting the event. And that's where you could earn like the big stuff, like the coatings. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna do two separate streams, one for the armor and one from the weapon. Not sure which stream. I'm thinking maybe for the armor stream, at the end of that, I'll talk about the major. And maybe at the end of this stream, we'll talk about like the new update stuff. We'll see. This is a take two on the stream. And I was kind of like rambling about like glad they've made some of the changes that they have with some of the stuff with this new operation, particularly the spot and credit stuff and all that too. I guess I'll talk about it as maybe at the end. I'll try to save it for the end if I want to repeat myself. I tend to like not want to repeat myself. So when I end up doing these take twos and stuff like that, and I crop out the like first take, all like my rants and rambles get deleted. And I sort of don't want to repeat myself because, you know, who cares, honestly. Yeah, the nameplate that I've got there, that was a viewership for the co-streamers for the event. So I did like it. I changed the color palette from the original, but there's color palette options and all.
Slayer.
Slay 'em all! No mercy!
There's a bot. I was taking that thing too seriously, like that was a real player.
DK-78 Commando over there.
Weapon. That one tomorrow. items incoming. Power items on the field.
Your head down.
Very impressive kill, Spartan. Sunshine! Active camo available.
Killing spree.
Anchor inbound. M41 SPNKr available.
Shields buffed.
Got a goodie. Active camo inbound.
Halfway to victory.
Head hostile. Hostile. Power items on the way. Power items up for grabs.
Enemy there.
In a poof, they're gone.
A 5 minutes remaining.
We've lost a teammate.
Dude.
Dusted. Power items incoming. Nabbed a Commando. Power items up for grabs.
Timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip to the gameplay. Like, it takes the game some time to put me in matches. I presume. Like, I'm gonna save discussion for the end. What's up, Slayer? How you doing? Discussion for the end. So I'm avoiding some of the talking points at the moment. We'll just keep it gameplay. Well, I'll chat with Slayer if he wants to chat. But I think, yeah, we'll save talking points for the end. Keep this gameplay. So if you just want to skip to the games, because there's a little bit of downtime during the search times. timestamps once the stream goes into the archives. I feel like because I overperformed in that last game, they're gonna like the search times is much longer because now they're trying to balance me out with some sweat, and I hope it's not the case, man. And just gonna be like a high ping game because there's not enough. Honestly, dude, I don't understand this game's like. I think like at this point in this game's life, they should just tone back like the skill base or the EOMM, like as much as they can. Just tone it back and try to get people into games quickly and good connections. Just try to do the best for the community that's left in the game, kind of thing. This kind of catering to like the matchmaking at this point in stage in this game's life, I feel like is silly. I'm almost certain it's taking longer because I overperformed in that last match. And not like I overperformed like with high skill. I just got a good game. That's all. In comparison to like my standards, I guess. I don't even know. This is getting a bit excessive. Come on, get me into a game. Hopefully it's not too high a ping and not too sweaty.
Capture the flag. Off the rack.
Active camo inbound.
Shields are down.
Active camo available.
Another one down.
Double kill. Triple kill.
Let's run for our lives back to base. You're exposed, Spartan. They have our flag. Not good. We have eyes on the enemy flag carrier.
Enemies below us.
Dude, teammates, why didn't you return the flag, man?
Flag returned.
They have our flag. Not good. Power items on the way. Enemy flag carrier spotted. Locked them in tatters.
Flag returned. Flag captured.
Power items available. An ally took their flag. Satisfied like a 3-round burst. They've taken our flag. The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
Flag returned. Enemy flag returned.
They've taken our flag.
How did they return?
We'll have one tomorrow. Our team took the enemy flag.
Flag returned.
They have our flag. Not good.
Flag returned.
They have our flag. Not good. Enemy flag carrier spotted.
Enemy flag.
Power items available.
Flag returned. Flag captured.
How, man?
Enemy there.
Left them in tatters.
Flag returned. Flag captured. Spectacular.
What's up, Pats Killer?
Victory.
It's a survey issue? I don't know, man. I don't know if they fixed the survey issue, Pats. Like, I play from India, so the connections are always really bad. They have, like, done some weapon tuning, and the tuning on the, like, M4, like, MA40 assault rifle feels a little more consistent with the, like, extreme lag. I mean, but I don't know if it's survey issue more than just lack of players. Like, I think the player base is so low in my region. That's why I get into bad connections. I don't know if there's like been some recent survey issue that has cropped up. They've done like a new like. I mean, if you're talking about the old server versus the new stuff, they did like a big like overhaul to like, I guess the networking a while ago, like or something like that, and that has improved like overall. Yeah, you're still gonna get that, dude. Like the first few games I was playing was like in that range. It's only these last couple of games that have been like 150. I also get it's just the lack of player base, man. It's the lack of player base. It's not like the servers or anything. It's just no one's playing the game in India anymore, so like, or in Asia for that matter. So we get dumped into those super hyping lobbies. I mean, a while back they fixed the like old networking and that sort of improved things, but like we're still gonna get into those like ultra laggy games because the player base is low. Yeah. Last week I was getting into like 300 and something ping lobbies every game. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think that's going to improve much, man. I think the player base is only going to get less and less with the next, you know, connections are just going to get rougher and rougher for us in Asia, particularly India. Halo is not particularly a popular game in our country, unfortunately. So, yeah, I do. I play X-Defined a bunch. It's a good, that at least we get good connections, man. I'm pretty sure that has local servers and stuff like that. Actually, the joke is Halo has, like, Microsoft has servers in India. It's just, I don't think we'll ever get into them anymore because, like, of the lack of player base. But I remember when Halo launched, it was like 30, 40 ping games. I used to get into them occasionally. Most of the time, actually, for the first month or two. Like, and then when the player drop-off happened in the launch, then it became like even those servers stopped, like they stopped putting me in those servers. But yeah, Halo actually had Indian servers. It's just, I suspect it was so inactive that they just stopped connecting us to those servers. Yeah, I play X-Define a bunch. Good connections on that game, man. Fortunately for us in India. Yeah, I've been grinding out the camels in X-Defined. I usually play solo when I'm checking out something. Like right now I'm checking out this armor thing. But then when I'm like just chill playing or like just, you know, like grinding out like the weekly challenges or something, then like if people want to join me, I don't mind. Yeah, see, 300 ping. Like usually when I'm checking out, like doing like the primary portion of my stream where I'm checking something out and all, I like to play by myself. Behind!
Power weapons inbound.
Should we try to snipe?
Grab that S7.
Power weapons up for grabs.
Trip 6963.
Enemy halfway to victory.
But usually if you want to join, you need to stop by my stream and just give me a heads up that you want to join up. Otherwise, I don't really check like messages and I don't really check messages and my Xbox. But yeah, you can go ahead and add me.
In my sights.
Another one down.
Dude, this is so laggy. I'm just gonna leave. Dude. I'm just leaving. I don't want to play this. We'll do another game. It's just too laggy, dude. It's not. I'm not even able to like fucking do anything. Yeah, unfortunately, Halo is kaput as far as connections go. Again, I don't think it's got anything to do with like bad servers and all. It's just there is no player base left in this game.
We've captured Charlie.
Your team scored. Gained the lead.
The enemy has captured Alpha. Overshield inbound. The enemy has captured Bravo. Overshield available. We've captured Alpha.
Oi.
Way to victory. Enemy team scoring.
Enemy there. Stronghold Bravo is ours. We've captured Alpha.
Your team scored. Enemy team scoring.
Is ours.
Your team scoring.
Overshield inbound. Stronghold Alpha lost. Overshield available. Target spotted. Enemy is below us.
Dude, teammate.
In my sights.
Feeling that one tomorrow. Stronghold Charlie is ours.
Your team scoring.
Target spotted.
Stay mobile.
Stronghold Bravo lost. Power items inbound.
Nearing victory.
Stronghold Bravo is ours. Power items on the field.
Taking cover.
Victory.
Dude, I feel like BRs in this game, like the battle rifles, they get affected heavily by lag. Let's just do Husky raid. And I feel like Husky Raid should be such a popular mod. They really do need to fix this kind of layout or whatever, the UI. Like, it's appreciated that they've added this like way of like selecting multiple modes, but it needs to be better done. Right now it's a bit of a mess. I know they are planning on to. I was sort of expecting it with this update, but I guess not yet. But apparently they are fixing it. Like there's an improved UI to come soon. I think the biggest like issue, like I don't know if it's the biggest like joke about like the matchmaking in this game, right? Like the EOMM and the SBMM and stuff like that, right? It was insanely poorly implemented too. Like where you have like Husky Raid, if you do well in it, it messes up your skill rating. So it affects quick play, like regular 4v4 arena. Or if you do poorly in pubs, it affects your rating in ranked, right? Or your skill in ranked, or your matchmaking that applies. I think they had no business doing that. They had no business implementing that system into this game when it was so poorly implemented and so poorly like timestamps. Skip to the gameplay, I guess. Like in COD, I hate the system. Like it is really bad, right? But you have to admit that they've got that stuff down to a T. Like it is working as intended. As much as we hate how it's intended, it is working the way they want it to work. Whereas in Halo, it was like this hodgepodge of like nonsense that didn't take into account so many factors. Like obviously, the like Husky Raid wasn't there at the launch of the game, but like it didn't even bother taking into account the possibility of a mode like that. So it just sort of like was this broad stroked design of things, and just no way of like, or maybe there was a way of like not tying XYZ to. What the fuck is going on, man? Are you fucking kidding? Yeah, let me do one thing. Taking super off. Just give me. We'll switch over to big team battle if this is still unable to connect me. Do a game of big team battle.
Husky raid. Flag returned.
Somebody saw that.
Another one down.
They have our flag. Not good. Beautiful shot.
Lost a teammate.
Flag returned.
Beautiful. All enemy reserves are low.
flag returned.
An ally took their flag.
Sniper got him.
That last kaboom was my favorite kaboom.
Take it, take it!
Enemy flag returned.
Feeling that one tomorrow.
Captured your flag.
Let's grab some cover.
remaining.
My shield's popped.
Enemy captured your flag. Good feed.
Artisanal Arms weapon coating checked out. It's the viewership reward from HCS 2024 Atlanta Major, the third major of the year, and this was the 6-hour viewership reward. So 6 hours, you could have watched while it was live, and you could have earned this coating for all your weapons. I really like it. I really do. I think it's a really nice coating. It's been something I've wanted in all the games I play, you know, and glad to see like Halo do it, and like I said, give it for free, which was nice. Yeah, definitely I feel like some better than the others. Like I like the MA40 a lot, the design on that. I really like the Commando on this weapon model. The new Operation weapon model that I paid for. It looks good. Looks good. I'm happy with it. Even the SPNKr looks alright. Hydra looks decent. Actually like it on the Hydra a lot. I do like it on this one also, but yeah, it does look good. It does look good. It does on the Bandit. I think the Commando is my favorite. I'll probably keep it on the Commando as the main. Looks good. Looks good. Very happy with that. So yeah, I mean, it's a free reward. You can't beat that, like as a viewership and stuff like that. And the HCS was reasonably entertaining. I only watched the grand finals, to be honest, and I, for the most part, only watched half of the grand finals and then went to sleep and then watched the VOD of the grand finals after the fact. Like I played it in the background and just kind of watched it half-assed. Kind of watched it. Let's be real. I will save it for the next. We're gonna do another stream. We're gonna do the armor coating from the HCS, the 9-hour viewership thing. But just all in all, I do think like I actually preferred this model of viewership. As I mentioned, they have sort of changed things around a little bit as far as how they were doling out the rewards. In the past, what they would do is you had the HCS major. And as the days progressed, more of the collection. So say this artisanal arms collection was there, it would be given per weapon, and you'd get a few weapons the first day, and then the second day they'd add a few more, and then the third day they'd add a few more. So if you watched it on the finals day, you'd be able to earn everything. But if you wanted it immediately, you could only earn for certain weapons per day, right? Whereas this one, it was just kind of like this lump sum, viewership time. God, are they going to start banging on the top of my roof? I hope not. They're doing the garden stuff and the plant stuff. They are going to start banging. I might have to tell them to stop that. This time around, what they did was it was a lump sum time, and it was simultaneous. So as you watched a little bit, you earned a few things. Not a few things, you earned one thing. And then as you watched enough, the 6-hour marker for the thing, you'd get the weapon coating. And then once you hit that 9-hour marker, like I said, it was simultaneously adding up for each item. So it wasn't like you had to do 9 hours just for the thing, and then 6 hours just for that. And it was slowly you'd unlock the items, right? And it made things a little easier, So I think the first day I was a little busy, so I had watched and left my tablet on and nearly got the weapon coating. By the second day, I'd gotten everything. So didn't need to worry about the third day, which was the grand finals. But obviously, I was interested in watching the finals and stuff like that, so I tuned in and all that. I was watching in and out of the finals day for sure. It wasn't that I just watched the grand finals, but that's when I tuned in properly and watched as much as I could before I felt tired. Before, what was even worse about prior was you had to watch the grand finals match to get the final item, right, for the collection, and it would usually be so late for me. It's it was a struggle to stay up for that stuff. So this one, it's you watch it in your own time while it was live and you leave your tablet on and you'll earn everything. And then, tune in for the stuff you want to tune in or watch the VODs for the stuff that you are interested in. And it just made for a better experience all in all, I felt. Before we wrap things up, there's a couple of things. I guess in this stream, I'll showcase the other stuff that you could get from the viewership for this major. There was the first one was this thing, the HCS Major Trophy. So this was the first item from the main channel viewership. And then the second item was the multi-coating for the Artisanal Arms weapon coating. And then the final item was the armor coating. So that was the charm. I mean, I guess I can equip it. I should have equipped it. And then we can look at the weapon with the charm. Actually, what was weird about this charm is they gave us a trophy like a long time back. And I think the other trophy is better. Like this was, I think, a charm. But yeah, this one was during the HCS World Championship way back. This is another charm, but this wasn't this year. This was like a while ago. The one that I've equipped is from this major. So, yeah. Weapon with charm, I guess. Looks good. Looks good. I like it. And then through the co-streamers, this time around, it was just a smaller thing. I think that was the coding only that I had equipped on this one. I think this is the one that they gave. Okay, now I'm not 100%. I'm pretty sure that is the one. It looks like it was an old coding though, huh? The Lone Wolves coding. Guess it's an old one. But I think this was the coding from the co-streamers for the Mongoose. And then the nameplate was this one. It was like a nameplate emblem set. So like you've got the emblems for it also. And it's the same design, right? And this did have like color palette and all, so that was kind of nice. Different color palette for it. That's a pretty cool one too. And then, like I said, the final item, the 9-hour marker. So the nameplate emblem set and the like Mongoose coding was co-streamers. And then the charm was the first reward, and then the armor coating was the second, and I mean the weapon coating was the second, and then the Steel Legion was the third from the main channel. So those were the rewards that you got. Now we'll save like the talk for the major afterwards, but just we'll do a little bit of spoiler here. Space Station won it. So just so you know, Space Station won it and all that. But I actually have a separate topic to talk about. I just wanted to talk about like the operation and stuff that they've made adjustments to this new playlist or this new. I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's new operation, but like the new set of operations, I guess. Some people are like considering the first 3 operations as a season, and now the next 3 is going to be a new season. Technically, that's how they're spacing it out, kind of thing, right? So this new kind of like big update that went down, right, with the FleetCom operation launch and stuff like that. I think they've done some good stuff here. Like, I think the biggest problem with the initial system was the Spartan points were like doled out like kind of like limited, right? So you couldn't get like Spartan points like or you couldn't earn by just playing the game regularly, right? You could only earn your daily challenge Spartan credit, which was once a day, and then you had your weekly ultimate challenge, which was a bit of a grind and not worth it for how much Spartan points you got. And then you had your operation, right? So a lot of the like, it was so weird because what ended up happening was it incentivized limited play. Like, so they were limiting you, like by not rewarding you for your play. Like it became the point where it's like you were better off not playing the game as much and just limiting yourself to XYZ because the reward system was in that way, right? Whereas like, yeah, once you finish the operation, you're not earning any more Spartan credits. Or once you finished your first game, you're not earning any more Spartan credits. Or if you really want to, you can grind out the game for the week, but there's not much at the end of the rainbow. So now what they've done, changed it around, is once you've completed your daily challenges, which is there's two challenges. One is for Spartan points and one is for XP. So once you finished your first 2 games of the day, every game after that gives you 100 Spartan points. So that now finally is an incentive to just keep playing the game and enjoying yourself while earning for that exchange system that they have implemented, right? So it's not only tied to the operation, which once you've completed it, you have nothing else, right? Now, at least for the people who want to keep playing the game, there is more incentives to keep playing the game because you're earning. Like I definitely felt like once I finished the operation, there was no reason to come back to play the game. Now, even like when I earn these like HCS rewards, I was like, let me wait for the operation to kick off, because if I jump into the game right now, it's just sort of me wasting time in the game because I'm not earning anything as far as like the operation goes, as far as the Spartan points go and all. I don't know. I think I'd still do that now. Like in hindsight, like I'll probably still just want to wait for the operation to kick off because it's something to grind while showcasing something, right? But I would be more open to the fact that like, oh, if I want to showcase this item, today, but the operation, I've already completed the operation at hand, I wouldn't mind jumping on because the Spartan points I'm still earning and I'm doing something what feels like productive as far as getting me to an end goal reward, right? That kind of end of the rainbow kind of something, right? As opposed to just playing the game for playing the game, right? There's nothing wrong with playing the game for playing the game, but I think having those like, bits and pieces that incentivize play and extended play is important. And I definitely think this new like Spartan point every game after the dailies is going to at least somewhat incentivize whoever's left in the game to like, if you not to just call it quits, right? Like once you've done whatever you want to do, it's like, yeah, okay, we can grind out a little bit more Spartan points. And it adds also value to the exchange system and all that, like, because at the moment, you couldn't even, like, I couldn't get some of the bigger items and stuff because I was limited to the Spartan points that they kind of doled out in that limited fashion, right? So that de-incentivized things even more, right? Now that I can earn the Spartan points, in my own pace if I wanted to, like I want to play this day, I want to grind it out and all, that's so important, right? And now I can at least like have confidence, like, oh, there's some big items. If I really, really want it, I can grind out the game as much as I want for as long as I can to get that one item. Again, I don't think it's going to bring back new players and stuff like that, but at the very least, it is going to be like reason to like, the old players to keep playing and maybe encourage stuff. The other thing I wanted to talk about is operation. Last week I was getting into 300 ping, not last week, a few weeks ago when I played Halo last, I was getting into 300 ping games every game. It was so miserable grinding it out. I was trying to complete the previous operation and it was just an absolute miserable experience completing it, right? I ended up spending all my Spartan credits. I was like, dude, I'm just going to spend it on, like, I didn't buy any. I ended up spending my Spartan credits on, like, whatever I had left. And I was like, I'm not spending any more money in the game. I do think, like, things like this, the weapon model and armor coating and all that, it convinced me to buy 500 credits more just to get this. Like, they've definitely started adding a little bit more value to the premium purchase of the belt things, like by adding the weapon model. Last season, like the last operation, they did it for the SPNKr. And I actually didn't like the weapon model, but by that point, I wanted to just get rid of my Spartan credits, right? But this thing, like, having something nice like this, these are the kind of things that will convince me, like, okay, I want to spend 500 credits for this. So I actually ended up buying 500 credits extra when I was pretty much done and dusted with this game, right? So they are improving like the incentives a little bit as far as this goes. It's like, this is good. This is good. You know, one, if it was just this Crimson Snowfall, I would not have bought it, right? But having both convinced me. And having that weapon model be something really nice convinced me, right? So that is also like, they are doing better with stuff like this in the last operation and this operation, right? So I think that is also an improvement. And then finally, the other thing that they've done is, so the big item, and a lot of people were like super worried about this, was the haunted helmet, right? Now, I'm not like familiar with the old Halos and stuff like that, but this was like a free reward in one of the old Halos. If you ground out the game really hard, the helmet with the like ghost, like the skull face, right? So what they've done is, like, a lot of people were scared, like they're gonna add it to the shop and that's gonna be the only way. But that's not the only way. They've added to the shop, so there is a bundle, you can get it, right? If you want to just outright buy it. But they've also added it to the exchange. And I think this is really important. And even though it's like 75,000, like, yeah, that's a lot. But I think that will add the value to like grinding it out if you decide to go that way. And now also the fact that you can earn the Spartan credits per match. If you really wanted to put your head down and grind out the game to get this, you can do it. You're not limited by the operations and the dailies, right, anymore. So this becomes like a huge deal in my opinion. And what I hope is happening in this situation is if you do end up grinding out this and unlocking this, right, through this Spartan point system, I hope when you go back to the shop and you look at the bundle, the price will be reduced because you're no longer getting the two big items in that bundle, right? Am I in the wrong thing? What the hell? Oh, yeah. So I'm curious to know if that's going to be the case. And I hope it is. And I hope to see stuff like that, right? Where they have stuff from the bundles like that they have, and you have incentives to like grind out and earn some of that stuff, and then maybe reduce the price of the bundle because you've earned that stuff and not you own some of the stuff in the bundle, right? The other thing is with the store, they've at least started piecemealing. If you want to buy things separately, you can for some of the bundles. A little overpriced, but better than nothing, you know, better than being forced into the only the bundle option. So these are like big step forwards. Unfortunately, at the very end of the game, but you know, at least there are big steps forwards. I do hope now that the Spartan point system is encouraging continued play and not limited play, I hope they bolster the like exchange system a lot better. So you have significantly more to like earn, not just one or two items and then all the old items only, you know. I'm not saying add new stuff, but the concept of adding some of these bundle items in the like exchange, I think that's appealing. I do think that's appealing. And then, you know, like if you unlock the like items, maybe you'll consider the bundle at the reduced cost. Like, oh yeah, I earned like this stuff. Oh, the stuff in the bundle is now cost a little bit more affordable. You know, maybe like I like some of that other stuff too, so I'll spend a little money, you know. So these are the kind of things that I think are valuable that, you know, will go a ways, you know, that I think, I don't know, man. Again, I don't think any of this stuff is going to bring back anyone, but at least for the people left playing the game, it's going to be like, you know, something that might encourage them to keep playing and doing stuff. So I talked about this in the first take. Obviously, I'm going to crop that out for the second take. But I think what ended up happening in this situation, which really aggravated a lot of people, was the way they kind of like did the operation system. God, this neighbor dog, man. Are you kidding? So I'm going to give the example of Battlefield, which is doing something very similar to what Halo did, but they ended up doing it in a way that I think sat better with the community as opposed to the way like Halo did it. Okay, so Battlefield, they had their season 7, and sort of like in the background text of like one of their website, like, you know, some writing somewhere, like some notes, like patch notes somewhere, it mentioned season 7 was going to be the end of the live service seasonal content, and that was going to be the end. So a lot of the like Battlefield community like got prepared. Okay, season 7 is the end. The game's done, right? Now near the end of the season 7, they kind of announced like, look, you know, season 7's the end, but we're gonna do like small events. We're gonna have like mini battle passes, like sort of scenarios. We don't know exactly how it's gonna be implemented, and we'll see how well it's received in the long term. But you know, it's like a very similar like model to what the operation system happened, right? For the future of like Battlefield, there'll be mini events for free rewards. There's gonna be like mini like tracks to grind out, as far as like similar to the operation system, but like Battle Pass, whatever, right? So there's still gonna be stuff to do in Battlefield, but as far as live service goes, it's over. And that's become very clear to everyone. Like, there's not going to be new maps. There's not going to be a whole load of new this, that, and the other. It's over. But there'll be bits and bobs that come like between now and the next game, right? And I think because it was known that the seasonal content and live service was ending, that I think the new system of like, you know, we'll give you something to do until the next thing has been significantly better received. Whereas in the case of like the operations, right, in Halo, what ended up happening was they announced the operation system as sort of like the next kind of way of continuing the Halo live service, right? As opposed to what Battlefield did was we're ending the live service. These operations are now just going to be there to like fill in the like weeks until the next game. So they sort of left that like open-endedness and like, you know, like hope with the community in Halo. Like, oh, the live service is going to continue. It's not going to be seasonal, but it's going to be operations and all. And I think ended up being like, look, the live service is completely over. It's become very obvious to a lot of people, but, you know, not being upfront about it, I think, is what like really pissed people off the most. It's like, dude, you should just said like, we're done. Live service is over. No more seasonal stuff. We're gonna do these operations. It's gonna be small things just to keep the game active, but no major like nothing is coming. No new maps. No nothing. Right? I think if they had been upfront about it, I think some of this stuff would have been better received. Right? I still think the old Spartan point system was stupid because, like I said, it discouraged long-term play. It encouraged like limited play, right? Like it limited you massively about how much you wanted to play, right? So I think the new Spartan point system should have been what it should have been in the first place, right? Where at least you're earning something. They should have bolstered the exchange and done like a bunch of stuff with that also, and you know, given a lot. I think things would have been, I think the end of Halo's live service and into this post live service operation system that is kind of like status quo until the next game, right? Or whatever you want to put it, however you want to put it, would have been better received. It would have been better received. I also think like, you know, like I said, people were expecting the operations to be a continuation, but like different of seasonal content. So what ended when you don't get like new maps per operation and it's only bundles and all, that was a shocker for a lot of people. Whereas if they were upfront about that stuff and like being like, look, there's no more new content coming, and we'll try to get stuff into the game whenever, like through the forged maps and from third-party developers and all, like go build maps and all. We're getting some stuff into the game, but for the most part, it's just kind of like we're trying to give you some stuff to do until the next game. I think things would have been better received. So yeah, that's just like something I was thinking about, like how different Battlefield kind of dealt with it versus how Halo dealt with it. And we're still to see what the final reception of Battlefield is, but I feel like the community is more mentally prepared for nothing, and the little that we get from Battlefield is going to be like somewhat appreciated, at least as something, as opposed to Halo, which left us like questioning, are we getting more? And then just being shoved with nothing but bundles and kind of gouging us for cash, right? It's like, dude, we're not getting anything more. So yeah, I think things could have been handled better as far as like, you know, being upfront with the like player base with this stuff. Like, if the developers are worried, oh, if they know the live service is over, they're not going to spend money on the game. I'll tell you one thing. My initial thoughts were like, yeah, I'm not going to spend money. The game's over. What's the point, right? But what's been weird is, and this is not only like Halo, right? But even in Battlefield, now that the game's over, like, and they're doing those kind of like mini events with small bundles that they're putting out and stuff like that, and very similar to what Halo did. Only thing, handling it slightly different, right? I'm still tempted to buy some of that stuff. I genuinely am. Like, as long as they're giving me something to do every now and then so I can jump into the game, if there's a cool bundle or something, I'm going to be tempted, or like a cool item. And what's nice about Battlefield is like if you earn some of the stuff through the events, it reduces the price of the bundles and stuff like that, right? So it adds that incentive like, oh, I earned this, now the bundle's cheap and I kind of want that, so might as well get that, right? So I think that kind of mentality of not being upfront and you'll make money, right? It might have had initial success, but once the like player base caught on with Halo, it became very like apparent that this is a greedy and we don't want to spend. We're getting gouged for money only, and I think that had a longer term negative effect on the sales of like store items and stuff. Whereas in my opinion, in Battlefield's case, them being honest-ish, like not they weren't completely honest, but they were honest enough where the player base was ready for it, has kind of mentally prepared me like, okay, there's not much, but if there's something nice and, you know, like every now and then I'm going to jump into the game and have something to do, maybe I'll spend a little bit of money here and there. And that sort of held true to Halo 2. Like I said, like I just last week mentally prepared, like I'm not going to spend any more money on this game because it's over and it's miserable. And then they kind of like announced a new update and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, at least they're trying. The Spartan point system is better. I've seen the like previews of the next few operations, like the preview image. So I don't know what's coming in that. But the preview images got me somewhat excited. I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be the same garbage as we've been getting in the like last few operations. But we know now that it's the end. So whatever little there is might be something nice. And I mean, as long as, you know, there's like this kind of reward right here, right? I might spend 500 credits for the next, like already I'm thinking like when I was buying my Spartan points or the Spartan credits, I was thinking, oh, should I get a few extra and stuff like that? Because, you know, I think maybe the Halloween themed operation should have something fun. Maybe the one previous to that will be decent, you know, so there's a couple of operations that might have some decent stuff. I decided against overly buying Spartan credits. I'll buy it if I find something I want, right? But I think knowing that it's the end of the game, I'm still okay with spending money, right, on it, like as long as there's things to do. So yeah, maybe next time and in the future and even currently, just be honest with like your audience and the player base. And you might be surprised that they still are willing to support your game, you know, even when it's end days. So yeah, that's just what I was thinking about as far as that stuff goes. Like I said, we'll talk about the major in the next stream. We're going to check out the armor coating. So we'll get to that now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my old streams if you haven't already. And even the weapon tuning, it helped, man. Like that AR weapon tuning actually has sort of improved even at the higher ping like issues. It's added a little bit of more consistency to those gunfights, you know, even though I'm in like 250 300 ping, I'm like at least something's registering. So these things help, man. Keep it up, I guess, and don't be like just be honest, man. I genuinely think if they had just been honest with the community, people would have been like fine with this. Like, yeah, it's over. No more live service, technically. But they're giving us stuff to do, right? As opposed to, like, leading us on believing, like, there's still stuff big stuff coming, new maps and this, that, and the other. Operations are going to be just as like packed with as seasonal content, and it's not. This is the end. The operations are nowhere near the content level that we got from seasonal content, because there is no more stuff to give as far as content goes. It's just operations to keep us busy. It's just busy work. But that's fine had you been honest about it and didn't lead us on to thinking like, oh, we'll see new maps every operation. We'll see this, we'll see that, right? As opposed to just a bundled thing. Anyway, I do think all in all, like this operation and potentially the next few might, now that we know what to expect from it, should be a little bit more better. And the improvements are appreciated as far as like Spartan points, the exchange item, the haunted helmet being in the exchange, and incentivizing some nice stuff in the like operation premium stuff. Even though like the operation might not be like that fascinating, it still might be worth spending. Things like that. Anyway, that's it. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I mean, the weapon coating is absolutely brilliant. Like, I can't say this enough, but I'm so happy this was just a viewership reward and not a store bundle, because I love it.